Equations as relations. So you just looked at the tutorial video about relations. So now we're going to apply that to the equations, which is basically more of the algebra part. I have up here to review open sentences. Open sentences was a tutorial that was created a little while ago, so make sure that you review that if you weren't real comfortable with open sentences, and how to write the answers, or how to write an open sentence, and so on. So the first example, just to go ahead and jump into this, says find the solution set of y equals 7 plus 3x, given the replacement set, and it gives you 4 ordered pairs. This section can be a little bit lengthy, even though there are only 3 examples. Just the amount of time that it takes to do one of the examples can be a little bit time consuming. So I'm going to go through this as quickly as I can, because again, it is a little time consuming. And however way that you can shorten it up, by all means, please figure out your own way to shorten it up. But I'm going to give you the long way, that way it shows all your work and all the steps and everything. So I'm going to write the problem up here, and hopefully I have enough room. Y equals 7 plus 3x, and then it gives us a replacement set. So some order pairs. -5, 0. Then it gives us -3, -2. 2, 13, and 4, 19. Okay, so basically with this information, we're going to take these order pairs and we're going to plug them into our equation and see which one makes true statements. That's basically all we're doing. You can just do this by hand, by just plugging them in and see if it equals, if one side balances with the other. Or you can make a table, which is how I'm going to show you to do. So basically, you're going to make an XY table. You have X values. Then you're going to have your equation, Y values, and then I like to put a yes, no, meaning it either works or it doesn't work. So our X values are already given to us here. We've got -5, -3, 2, and 4. And then our Y values were also already given to us. Corresponding with -5 is 0, -2, 13, and 19. So basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to plug in these X values into this equation, see if I get this answer. And if I do, then it's a yes. If I don't, then it's a no. So you're going to plug in the first one, 7 plus 3 times -5, and determine whether or not it equals 0. And in this case, it actually does not. 3 times -5 is 15, and then 15 plus 7 gives me negative something. 15 plus gives me -8. -8 obviously is not equal to 0. So this one right here would be a no. So that one did not work. So then you do the rest, continuing on. 7 plus 3 times -3. That's -9 plus 7 is a yes. Does give me -2. 7 plus 3 times 2. 6 plus 7 is 13. So it's a yes. 7 plus 3 times 4, so that's 7 plus 12 is 19, so that one is also a yes. And then the way you write your answer is whichever order pairs actually worked. So I'm going to see if I can move this up just a little bit and then try and write the answer. So the answer are the order pairs that worked, which in this case is brace, and I apologize for the board moving. -3, -2, 2, 13, 4, 19, and close up brace. So this is how you would write your answer, is this down here. Okay. Okay, the next example says to solve, and then it gives us two letters. Those letters are not X and Y. Instead, they are D and C. Solve D is equal to 8 minus C. Just like we're going by the alphabet, X is usually always inside the equation, Y is usually always over here. So we're going to do the same thing. C is going to be our X, D is going to be our Y. Then it tells us our domain is negative 2, 0, 3, 5, and 8. And if you recall, domain is our X value. And as I just stated, I guess I shouldn't write D. I should write domain. And in this case, the domain is going to be C equals. Our domain is our X value, and as I just stated, C is going to be our X in this equation. So you can set up another table, just like I've done in the last example. Here are my values of C. I have my equation, 8 minus C. And this time I want to get an answer for D. I don't have one already like I did before, so I should come up with some type of number as my answer. So you're going to plug in all of these values, negative 2, 0, 3, 5, and 8, into the equation. Minus negative 2, 8 minus 0. Let's see, that's 10. That's 8. 8 minus 3 is 5. 8 minus 5 is 3. And 8 minus 8 is 0. So now I have ordered pairs. Again, to write our answer, it's just like we had with our solution set. And we're going to write our CD as an ordered pair, so it's going to be C comma D. So our answer is negative 210, 0, 8, 3, 5, 5, 3, and 8, 0. So that would be our answer for this example. And then the last example says to actually do the exact same thing. But there is a trick, and I'm only going to do part of the last example because it does want us to graph, and I've already gone over graphing. It says to solve basically the same directions as the one I just did. 9x plus 3y equals 15. And then it gives you domain again. And it gives you 0, 1, 2, and 3. The easiest way to do this, because we are given the x values here, and we want to find the y values. So the easiest way, and the way that I suggest doing it, is solving for y, which I did go over the section solving equations and formulas, when we're talking about manipulating a formula, moving things around to get one variable by itself. So we want to do that here. You can do it like this and go ahead and plug in your x values, but it'll take a little bit more time. And I think solving for a variable first, getting it done and over with, so that way you don't have to do it 4 times. Because if you leave it like this, you're going to plug in your zeros for your x, and you're going to be solving for y 4 different times. Whereas if I do it the way I'm about to show you, you only have to solve it for it once. So I'm just going to go ahead and solve for y. So I'm going to leave y right there. Move everything else over, which means my x value has to move over to the right. 9 is positive, so I'm going to subtract it. And I'm left with 3y equals. And I know 9x and 15 are not the same term, so we just write it how it is. 15 minus 9x. And then 3 is being multiplied by y, so I'm going to go ahead and divide each side by 3. Okay, in this case, because I have one number in my denominator, I can actually divide it into both of these sides. And it'll kind of look like a little heart or something to that nature, roughly. So you can do 15 divided by 3, which is 5. and then do negative 9x divided by 3, which is negative 3x. So now I'm given a straight linear, what looks like a more easier equation to deal with. So then you would just make a table, just like we did before, an XY table, with the equation in the middle. Given the x values, 0, 1, 2, and 3, plug them in, and then you're going to get numbers on the end. And I'm just going to do those really quick. 5, 2, negative 1, negative 4. So then your answer would then be these 4 ordered pairs. 0, 5, 1, 2, 2, negative 1, 3, negative 4. And then close your brace and I ran out of room. Excuse me. And then the second part of the example says to graph. So then you would just graph those 4 points on a graph, and that would be your final answer. So it would be this solution set plus the graph. And again, I'm not going to graph because we've already gone over graphing and should be able to plot points.